Ms.
Trustee
Paula?
Oh, yeah.
So I see, I only see 2 board members.
You have all 5.
I'm here, Trustee Lopez. I'm changing my name right now. I'm here.
There you go. All right, Ms. Paula, are you ready?
Yes.
All right. I call this meeting to order at 6:14. Can you do a roll call, Ms. Paula?
Trustee Ramos. Trustee Ramos.
Present. Present.
Trustee Dopplemore.
Present.
Trustee Calhoun.
Present.
Dr. Little.
Present.
Board President Lopez.
Present. If we can have Trustee Dopplemore lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Yes, if everyone could please stand, please, and place your right hand over your heart and remove your headgear. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. Hello, am I okay? I'm sorry. I'm gonna start over, please. Place your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible,
with
liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated.
Thank you, Trustee. Moving on to item number 6, reports of actions taken in closed session pursuant to Government Code Section 54857.1. We have nothing to report. Moving on to item number 7, approval of open session agenda. Do I have a motion, board members?
So moved.
I will second.
It's been moved by Dr. Little and seconded by Trustee Dopplemore. Do we have any discussion? Trustee Ramos. Dr. Little. Trustee Dopplemore. And Trustee Calhoun.
No discussion.
I apologize, no discussion. There's an issue with, I don't know if it's just my Wi-Fi, but it's a delay. No discussion.
All right, seeing no discussion, Ms. Paula, can you do a roll call, please?
Trustee Ramos.
Aye.
Trustee Dopplemore.
Aye.
Trustee Calhoun.
Aye.
Dr. Little.
Aye.
Board President Lopez.
Aye.
Thank you.
Moving on to item number 8, recognition of Compton Community College District Redistricting Committee members. Dr. Curry.
Yeah, I want to make sure that today we have certificates for them, but today we want to recognize the members of the Compton Community College District Redistricting Committee, and we want to start with the Honorable Commissioner Bruce Boyden. I know he's on the call. He's somewhere, he's there.
Yes, I'm here, Dr. Curry.
So we have a certificate to recognize him for his work as the chair of the Redistricting Committee. We also have to recognize is Yesenia Corteta, I think I said it right, who is from the city of Paramount, who also served on the committee. Is Yesenia here? Then we have Stephanie Del Cid, who's the ASG student body president, who served on the committee, and she's here. And then we also want to recognize Paulette Gibson Simpson, who came on our committee a little bit late because she played someone else, and she participated in every single meeting once she was appointed. But we want to recognize Miss Paulette Gibson Simpson. Paulette,
Thank you. Yes, I am. Thank you so much.
And then the final one is Mr. Amadi Williams. I think I said it right. Did I say it right?
Yes, you did. Thank you very much.
I've been working on that one.
Yes.
And these are the individuals who served on the Redistricting Committee. They'll be provided with a certificate for our appreciation for their work on the redistricting. And I think it'd be okay if we can ask them to say a few words as we recognize it. We'll start with Commissioner Boyden.
Thank you, Dr. Curry. Of course, first of all, it was a pleasure to serve, and indeed, it's always a pleasure to serve, especially when it comes to Compton Community College District. We actually did a thorough job in looking at the maps, and we ultimately made a recommendation to the board. But indeed, I appreciate everyone who served on the committee. They were thoughtful, they were in-depth in their thinking, and really did a great job. Thanks again for the opportunity.
Thank you. Is Yesenia on to make sure I don't miss her? Okay. Now we can go to Stephanie.
Thank you, Dr. Curry. As always, it's a pleasure to serve Compton College. We did go through every single option, and we vetted every single one of those options to make sure that we gave the board the best recommendation that we could. So it was an honor. Thank you.
Okay, then we have Amadi.
Yes, so I'd like to thank you for this opportunity. This is my first time serving, and I really appreciate the education. It was very informative and a pleasure and a privilege. Thank you very much.
And last but not least, Miss Paulette Gibson Simpson.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the opportunity to serve the community as well. And also to have the opportunity for the NAACP to be represented in the community, because we know redistricting is a crucial and vital part of our community and our voting population. So again, I want to thank the Board of Trustees for having the insight to make sure that this went forth and happened. And it was a pleasure just to work with everyone. Everybody was so warming and receptive, and I really appreciate that. And they took the job serious. So thank you.
So once again, on behalf of the Board of Trustees, we'll say thank you. And I will turn it back over to Trustee Board President Lopez to see if any board members would like to make any remarks.
Thank you. Let's start off with Trustee Ramos.
I just wanted to say thank you for your service. I appreciate all the work that the committee did for the district. Thank you.
Dr. Little.
Yes, I too just want to thank the entire committee for their tireless service, as I indicated in the chat, and really being thoughtful about not only the current situation, but the implications of their efforts and work on behalf of our community long term. And again, with so much going on in our world and with COVID, that you all would volunteer your time is greatly, greatly appreciated. So thank you so, so much.
Trustee Doppelmore.
Yes, again, thank you, commissioners, for your service, for taking, of course, we know that there's other things that you could have done, but of course, this is just a show of labor of love, not just for our community, but it's for our constituents, and it's for future generations to come. Thank you guys for looking at everything for fair and equitable equal districting amongst all the different districts for Compton Community College. And this, again, like I said, it's something that's going to be in place for like the next 10 years. And I participated on some of those meetings. So I know that you guys considered and you looked at all the options and all the possibilities with the decisions that you make. So again, thank you so very much for your time and your service. And we look forward to the maps that we're going to be dealing with for the upcoming cycle. Appreciate it.
Trustee Calhoun.
I put it in the chat, but you ladies and gentlemen did fantastic work. That was hard work to go through all those maps, figure out which one you want, the percentage, to make sure that nobody was left out, and the decision that you came up with, you know, with the maps that you picked. I agree. I did attend some of the meetings, and you ladies and gentlemen had the hardest job. We have the easiest one. But you stuck to it and you attended those meetings, and the wealth of information that you ladies and gentlemen brought up and the questions that you had and the answer that you received gave you a lot of information on how to exactly choose the map that you thought was the best one at this time for the next 10 years. Thank you for your service. And I look forward to you ladies and gentlemen looking to see what other committees that we have that you could sign up on and be a part of it. Thank you.
I want to thank all of our committee members, our chair for leading the meetings, the student participation, and actually to every public comment that was able to participate in this meeting. Thank you very much. Moving on to our next item, which is item 8.02, recognition of Barbara Calhoun, Vice President, Compton Community College District of Trustees.
Yeah, so Board President Lopez, this has to do with the Excellence in Trustee Trusteeship Program. Trustee Calhoun has completed the program, and so we have several board members that have completed, and we want to make sure that we recognize Trustee Calhoun at the board meeting, because this is a significant accomplishment. I know that Trustee Doppelmoore just signed up for the program, but Trustee Calhoun has completed the program, and we want to recognize Trustee Calhoun at this board meeting. So congratulations, Trustee Calhoun.
Thank you so much. I just want to say that was hard. I know we go to conferences to get information. Those classes that you have to take, they are no joke. They are no joke, and they are serious about you understanding what you need to know about the college, the students, the services that we have to offer, the financial stuff. And I think I'm kind of brain dead tonight, but I'm glad that I am finished with it. Miss Trustee Doppelmoore, I know you can't wait, but please keep a log of all the classes that you take, even when you do the seminars during the week. If you sign up for the chancellor's seminars and other seminars, all that counts towards your Excellence in Trusteeship program. So just remember that every time you're on that Zoom with them, no matter what it is, that's part of your trustee, Excellent in Trustee program. So I'm glad I'm finished. Dr. Curry, there's not another level I have to go, is it?
No, that's it.
Thank you.
But it's a significant accomplishment, and we want to make sure we recognize Trustee Calhoun. And she has the pin. And so when they go to conferences, she'll be wearing a pin. But I think we got 3 trustees who have completed the program. And that concludes the recognitions.
Thank you very much. Moving on to item number 9, request to address the Board of Trustees on agenda and non-agenda matters. Pursuant to Board Policy 2350, public participation, this is an opportunity for members of the public to address the Board of Trustees on open session agenda and non-agenda matters. Consistent with the amendments to the Brown Act, the above notice meeting of the Compton Community College District Board of Trustees shall take place as follows. So for public comment, members of the public wishing to provide public comment on closed session items, open session items, and those items not on the agenda that are within the jurisdiction of the Board of Trustees may do so in real time. If you are connected to the meeting using Zoom, please use the word chat, the function chat. If you are calling into the meeting, please dial *9 to let staff know you wish to comment. Public comment will be accepted until the board president calls for a motion on the board item being addressed. Members of the public, if you would like to address the board, please type in chat and we will make sure to put you in the queue. If you are on the phone, dial *9 and we will make sure that you are listed in the queue. Dr. Curry, let me know when you're ready.
I think we have one so far, Patrina.
All right. Heather, are you ready with the time clock? And you would need to unmute yourself, Miss Patrina, because I feel like you're talking to us and you're not mute, and you're on mute.
Guys, come back to me. I have to go to the restroom. I'm sorry.
There's only one person that signed up, unless there's anyone else that has that types in the word chat to be recognized to address the board on agenda and non-agenda matters.
So we have, I can't see, okay. We have Makia Black. I hope I say your name right.
Mika Black. Mika Black, if you can unmute yourself. Mika Black, if you can unmute yourself.
Okay, we can go to Patrina, she's back, and then we can go back to Malika Black in a second.
Okay, Ms. Patrina, if you can unmute yourself. Let me find you.
Ready now?
All right, Heather, are you good with the time clock?
I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
I just want to make sure that the time clock is all right. You may go.
Okay, I'm fine. Okay. Good evening, Dr. Curry and all the other college board members. I'm here to express that we would like for you, the Board of Trustees, to return Emily Hart Holyfield's name back up on the Compton College Library. Dr. Curry, I have sent you 2 emails. Me and you have responded. We corresponded back and forth, but you've never, ever addressed the issue as to why you allowed the name to be taken down and never bothered to return the name back up on the college. And we have quite a few people on here, and mostly all these people that's on here tonight, they want to know from you why you haven't given us an explanation as to why you haven't even tried or even made it and put it on the agenda for the board to vote for Emily Hart Holyfield's name to be back up on the school. I don't know if you know her background, but this lady was the first African-American woman to be on the college board trustee. She served 20 years on that board and she was president 10 times. We're not even going to go into all the other stuff that she has done for the city of Compton. And I don't understand why you guys don't see that. I don't understand that. And then another thing, when I spoke with her, she was the one that suggested that Senator Deal's name go up there. And it's still up there. But his name was up there at the time on hers. So now you guys come up with a new rule saying that in order for a person's name to go in the building, they either have to contribute a large amount of money or they have to be deceased. Well, Senator Deal at the time, he was alive when his name went up there. So I don't understand why Emily Hart Holyfield's name is not put back on there. Could you answer that question, please? Thank you.
Trustee Lopez, the next person is Makia Black. I think we lost Trustee Lopez. So Trustee Calhoun, you're now chairing the meeting. The next person we have is Makia Black.
Makia Black, if I'm saying your name correctly, will you please unmute? Please unmute so we can, so you can be able to talk for 3 minutes.
It looks like Makia Black has left the meeting. So if Makia Black,
Somebody, okay. Is there anybody else that wishes to, that's on the phone that wishes to speak? That raised their hand? Amadi Williams? Amadi Williams, please unmute yourself.
That is me as well. I'm here. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir, we can.
Okay, I just wanted to address what was being said because I was unaware of who Miss Holyfield was. I've been seeing signs around Compton about putting her back on the marquee. I will admit I don't know much about her, but if what we just heard is true, that is a major concern as to why she was taken off. I mean, that just seems, if she was up there at one point and we changed the rules, I mean, maybe we can get an exemption for this. Because, I mean, it sounds like she's still alive, I guess, but I mean, if she did so much, we should recognize her. Has she been recognized in any other way? I mean, that's kind of my question as someone who didn't know who she was before. I'm wondering why she was removed and why any of that happened. Is there any way we can address that in this meeting? And that's really all I have.
All right, and it has to be agendized.
Okay.
Is there somebody else that would like to speak? Dr. Curry, you see anybody else? Because I don't have the whole screen like everybody does.
Calhoun, I'm back. My
thank
reception
you.
item. No problem. And one last call. If you would like to address the Board of Trustees, please type in the word chat for public comment, in addition to addressing what your topic of conversation will be. All right, seeing nothing else, moving on to item 9.02. Board members, is there anything you would like to address for future board meetings?
Did somebody put something in the chat late?
yeah. So this Mr. Earl just put his name in the chat right before just timing. So we do have Mr. Earl, Trustee Lopez.
Got it. Did that happen before or after I moved to 9.02?
I think it was like at the same time when you were talking, it came in.
Got it. Mr. Earl, we'll have you address. If you can also state the item of reference that you're speaking on, and you have 3 minutes if you're unmuted.
Good evening to the board. I'm Richard Earl, President of Concerned Citizens of Compton. I am talking in favor of putting Ms. Holyfield's name back up on the building. I think that we have been through this many times, and I think that that the rules that were made after her name came down. I think she deserved to have her name put back up on that building due to the many things that she's done here in our city and for our people here and for the college. I think that once we start recognizing and seeing that those people that do the things here in this city and we recognize them, we can get along and make things better for us. That college needs to have her name back up on that building. As we all know, I don't know everything about Miss Holyfield, but I have talked to her, and she most certainly is one lovely woman. I think she deserves to have her name back up there. And if we can somehow see that we can do this, can we do this? Please, thank you.
I believe we have Ms. Mika Black back on. If you could unmute yourself.
Hi, yes, thank you. I had some connection issues. I apologize. This is directed to Dr. Curry and the Board of Trustees. Thank you for your time. Thank you for hearing me out today. As we come to the conclusion of Black History Month, I would like to speak on the behalf of Mrs. Emily Hart Holyfield and her contributions to the Compton College District and the state of California at large. And in my comments, I'm requesting a letter of support from all of you to support her reinstatement of her name on the Compton College Library. This was something that was done during the conservatorship El Camino. And so we feel that El Camino should be the board to vote to return the name, because we know that it costs money. We would be asking for funds that could be going in different areas. So we're asking for all of you to support us so that we may request that El Camino reinstate the name of Emily Hart Holyfield, as she represents the diversity that Compton College has always stood for so many people of color in the pursuit of higher education and opportunities in California. Currently, Ms. Holyfield is registered under the state of California as the legal library. And so all we're wanting to do is to put her name back on the marquee, let people know about who she is, and, you know, just give something to the community, something for people to strive for, something for people to remember when they come to the college or when they come in as students. And so in conclusion, if you would like to submit your letter, you may contact Jackie Barra. Her number is 310-994-5318. Again, that's 310-994-5318. Thank you for your time and have a good day. Bye-bye.
Okay, we are moving on to item 9.02, board members. We will start off with Trustee Ramos.
No, I don't have anything.
All right, Dr. Little.
For the delay. So I'm sorry, just to be clear, we are in the 9th section now, and you're asking.
9.02.
Yes.
Future agenda matters.
As I indicated in our retreat, continued conversation and policy and direction around naming for buildings, as well as just ongoing updates that we have been receiving about our student attendance and the various methods that we are taking to continue to recruit and outreach.
Okay, Trustee Doppelmore.
Yes, Chair. I would like to have as a future agenda item that we further explore the additional partnership for adult learning as it relates to say trucking apprenticeship programs, which we discussed in a board retreat. If we can maybe have a presentation on that, possible vendors to partnership, and exploring the possibility of bringing that adult education or certification program to Compton Community College.
Calhoun.
Did you call me?
Yes, we're on 9.02.
That's future agenda, right?
Correct.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
I will
better get going. I will be in contact. We'll start the intro soon.
All right. Future agenda. The bookstore and the prices of the books.
Can you elaborate more on the direction that you're seeking update on?
A lot of the this is a better way of saying it. When our students come to the college, right? They really is there a place on the website that tells them the books that they need and the cost of the books? Or when they enroll and then they go to the bookstore, that's when they find out the cost of the books? So I'm trying to understand about that so that it's not a sticker shock when our students need the book. And is there a way that students that might have had the book previously might be able to return that book if they so choose, and the book is sold for a different price? I'm just saying.
Okay, thank you for the clarification. All right.
And then I would like to be I'll say something when we come back later on for the other future agenda. I have to word this better. Sorry.
No problem. Moving on to item number 10, Board of Trustees meeting minutes, consent items. 10.01, minutes of January 24th, 2022, Board of Trustees meeting. Board members, can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved by Dr. Little and seconded by Trustee Calhoun. Do we have any discussion? Trustee Dr. Little.
No discussion.
Trustee Dopplemore.
No discussion.
Trustee Calhoun.
No discussion.
And I believe Trustee Ramos had to step out. Seeing no discussion, Ms. Paula, can you do the roll call?
Trustee Dopplemore,
Aye.
Trustee Calhoun,
Aye.
Dr. Little,
Aye.
Trustee Ramos, Board President Lopez.
Aye. Moving on to item number 11, reports from representative and employee organizations. 11.01, Associated Student Government Report, Stephanie Lenore Del Cid.
Good evening, Board of Trustees, Compton College colleagues, and honored guests. My name is Stephanie Lenore Del Cid, and I serve as the ASU president for the 2021-2022 academic year. I'm here today to provide the ASU report for February. This month, ASU, in collaboration with the Office of Student Development, held a series of events in celebration of Black History Month. We were able to put together film viewings, several Race Matter workshops, and Black Authors Series events, an open mic night, as well as food truck feeding held today at Compton College free of charge. Secondly, we held interviews for a prospective candidate for the student trustee position. We will be handing you our recommendations soon. Thirdly, ASG members attended the SSCCC Student Forum Series, where our Commissioner of Athletics student, Sadia Escobar, talked about her experience at Compton College and the resources that has helped her during her educational journey. Fourth, we have started a new Emerging Leadership Institute series. ASG leaders will be able to build upon the leadership skills we gained this previous fall term to do better, to serve Compton College and the students present and the ones to come. This will conclude my ASG report for the month of February. Thank you and have a great evening.
Next, we have 11.02, Academic Senate Report, Dr. Minadora Maltaviu.
Good evening.
Thank you.
Good evening, Board of Trustees. I do not have a long report today. Our Academic Senate will be meeting for the first time this Thursday. We'll be retaking our usual activity. The one thing that I can say is that over winter break, me as the president of the Academic Senate, Professor Holly Schumacher, the president of our Certificated Employees Union, and Manqua McKinsey, the president of the Classified Union, have met a couple of times with the president of the statewide union, which is the California Federation of Teachers, John Freitas. And John Freitas in turn met with Dr. Curry. He's mediating between the three groups that had voted on the vote of no confidence and the district to hopefully lay the foundation for a collaborative working relationship in the future. So we're hoping to get things back on track where we can have a mutually agreeable working relationship at Compton College. And that is all I have for now. You will be hearing more extensively from me at the next Board of Trustees meetings, when I will be providing a summary of the last 2 years of activities and accomplishments of the Academic Senate. Thank you very much.
Moving on to 11.03, Cccfe Certified Employees Report, Holly Schumacher. Zachary, Dr. Curry, do you know if she is on?
I don't see her.
I don't know if she's on.
Okay. We can go to 11.04, CCCFE Classified Employees Report, Amenkwa McKenzie. I didn't see him on either.
He mentioned to me he might be on tonight, so I don't think he's on though.
Okay, moving on to item number 12, presentations, 12.01, Calworks, TAMP, and GAIN. Dr. Curtin.
Okay, so tonight we have an update on the Calworks TANF and GAIN program, and we have Michelle Garcia, who was the Calworks TANF and GAIN director, who can provide the update for Calworks. Dr. Garcia.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for allowing me to report on our parenting students here at Compton College. I will go over 4 components. The program components, our students. I'm going to offer 2 portraits of success, and then some of our future goals. And this is a picture of our students in the banquet we were able to have pre-COVID. So what is CalWorks? CalWorks is the California Work Opportunity and Responsibility to Kids, also known as CalWorks. Embedded in that is the Temporary Assistance for Needy Families, which is TANF, and the California's Greater Avenues for Independence, which is GAIN, the employment portion of CalWorks. And ultimately, these 3 pieces come together to provide financial, educational, and workforce support to low-income families to meet basic needs. Our department is a designated point of entry for CalWorks participants to work on educational goals approved by the Department of Social Services. Our mission is to advance CalWorks family success and self-sufficiency through educational excellence and workforce training. Our staff include myself, Citlali Gonzalez, who is our counselor, Juanita Pais Martin, who is our program advisor, and Ernest Argol, who serves as our program technician. Our services include assistance with Department of Public Social Services paperwork, individual academic, vocational, and personal counseling, student advocacy and case management, referrals to campus and community resources, our CalWorks work study program, which allows students to work both on and off campus, and the funding that they receive from that work study doesn't count against their monthly aid, and educational supplies for students and verification of books and supplies for DPSS. As mentioned, our work study program gives students valuable on-the-job training up to 20 hours a week. The schedules are flexible without interruption of studies. Again, the salary earned does not count against student cash aid. We assist them with resume development and preparation for job search, and also assist them with network building opportunities. Another pictures of our events before COVID. These are our demographics for our students and numbers of our self-initiated participants and county referral participants. So 18-19, we had 183 students. 19-20, we decreased to 112. And this last year, we had 65 participants. During this time, we were going through COVID. The county issued a opportunity for students to withhold from participating in educational activities and work activities, and that did affect our numbers. However, with the numbers that we are looking at, most of our students fall between 25 and 29 years old, and we are split between African American and Hispanic students. our success and retention rate. So for success, in 2018-19, we had 72%. 19-20, our success rate was at 59.9%. And 2021, we were at 52.5%. Our retention has remained high, 87.1 in 18-19, 88.2 in 19-20, and 74.8 in 2021. Our degrees in 2018-19 were 16. We had 3 in 19-20, and we didn't have any degrees in 2021. I'm sorry, certificates. Our degrees, however, we had 69 in 18-19, we had 42 degrees in 19-20, and we had 12 degrees conferred in 2021. Of those students shared with El Camino College, only 61 of 142 consented to transition to Compton College, which did impact our numbers. As mentioned in 2020, due to the pandemic, the county issued good cause for students, which allowed them to step back from participating in welfare to work activities. This included attending school. Good cause just ended in January of 2022. During fall 2021, we pivoted and focused on outreach efforts with our ESL populations through new opportunities and partnerships with GAIN, and also the Fine Arts, Communication, and Humanities Guided Pathways Division. As a result, we almost tripled our winter term numbers from 11 in winter 2021 to 32 in 2022. Preliminary numbers for spring 2022 show an increase in registered participants from 31 in 2021 to 53 this semester. And now for 2 portraits of success. Maricruz Lozano, this is her here with her son. I'm going to read off an excerpt from a scholarship application that she put in for the Calworks State. It took an entire decade for me to gain the motivation to make school a priority. And of course, stepping into my first semester, I had no clue how many resources were available for student parents. Compton College has a great number of resources, but Calworks is one that benefited me and my child in the best way. They provided all the tools I needed to prioritize and dedicate myself to my knowledge. Through Calworks, I found employment that is flexible with my school schedule as much as my mommy schedule. And that is golden. Remember, where there is a will, there is a way. Now for April Garcia, who is a little camera shy, so she sent us this picture of her beautiful son. The first semester for me was fall 2019, in which I failed 2 out of 3 classes. I was registered, but due to the financial situation I was in, I couldn't afford to pay for my books. Spring 2020, a counselor referred me to the program since I was a single mother. I qualified for aid and was able to get help from my GAIN worker through the Calworks team here at Compton College. 2 years later, here I am passing all of my classes, mostly with A's because I no longer struggle to pay for my books. I have 2 semesters left, and I couldn't be more grateful to Calworks that has been a major part of my journey in college. Calworks has a part in making me who I am today. And now looking at our program goals. So we will continue to increase outreach efforts through the campus and with our county partners. As mentioned, we are expanding services for Calworks ESL students. We're revitalizing our work study program post-COVID restrictions, continuing to grow our services through Canvas as a means for connecting with our students, and strengthening of support system for our graduating Calworks students. And that is the end of our presentation. Thank you.
Thank you. Board members, do you have any discussion or questions? Dr. Little.
No questions. Just wanted to, first of all, thank you so much for, again, the great presentation, and just to reiterate the importance of the generational impact when people have access to education and the benefit of having the myriad resources that were shared, just minimally the books and not having to, in some cases, work 2 and 3 jobs, but actually have time to study and focus. I've met several students out in our communities who have really appreciated the holistic wraparound investment in their education. And I think part of our continued communication and being ambassadors, and I don't mean the board members, I mean the broader community for the resource of Compton College, is the fact that you don't have to escape and move outside of your own community to get a quality education. And I think that Compton College is very unique in many of these circumstances that provides these wraparound services that really allow students not only to fully engage in their education, but as was shared around the grades, it really does also tee up their opportunities at the secondary level while still raising their families and having a higher quality of life within our community. And so I just want to thank you for not only the presentation, but for illuminating the voices of those who don't often have that agency. And to me, keep us all centered on what is the primary focus of this institution, which has nothing to do with us as individuals, but us as a collective community. So thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Little. Our students were so excited when they got to put these pieces together and offer pictures that the board was going to hear about their success.
Duly noted. Thank you.
A couple more.
Yes, thank you, Chair. Director Garcia, I just wanted to add again, thank you for the presentation, the information. I love the touch on the success stories that you have. I just have a couple of questions. And by any chance, is there overlap with the FIS program, the formerly incarcerated students? And my next question would be, the partners that you have, are those public as well as private? And I'm speaking with the workforce, the partnership, or the employees, the employers that are offering the workforce. Is it public and private, or is it just coming from the governmental agencies?
Currently, our partners are public entities. We have had a couple of interns at the local courthouse. We did have one application from someone who had a private daycare. However, there were issues with insurance and making sure that our students were going to be covered in that kind of placement. So right now they are mostly on, especially because of COVID, they are mostly here at Compton College, but pre-COVID, we did have students out in other public sectors off campus.
Okay, thank you. And with the FIS program, is there overlap with that at all? Because I know you did mention on one of the slides that you got referrals from your CRPs that came from, I believe back on one of the slides, so just like where you're getting the referrals from? You said that there was some students that came from the other agencies as well.
Yes, so we partnered with to market our services to our ESL students. Mm-hmm. We have been receiving a lot of students who were trying to receive degrees but had stopped out. But our many of our ESL students come just to hone in on their English skills, and so creating services that were marketed directly to them with the assistance of our specific academic partners on campus was what helped us grow those services. But we do partner with other programs on campus to identify students who maybe don't know that there's a Calworks on campus and only know of the Calworks County, to assure that we're bringing them in and registering them through our program.
Okay, thank you so very much.
Very in-depth report. I don't have to ask you a question because you answered my questions, especially when you said that the county gave the students the opportunity not to do the work, and then how they stopped it in January of 2022. So now it's going to gear back up again. And that's good. So those were my questions, and you readily already answered those questions for me that I was going to ask. So very good report, and thank you for all the work. And I like what we're doing for our students and the wraparound services that we provide for them. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for your presentation. Appreciate it. Moving on to item 12.02, Compton College Science, Technology, Engineering, and Math STEM Center presentation, Dr. Curry.
Yeah, so tonight, this is second of three. I got another presentation coming up later. But I do want to recognize Ladell Willis, who is our Director of Basic Needs and Student Success, and Lorena Fonseca, who is our Program Specialist, who will be providing us with a presentation on our STEM Center, which is the Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics Center here at Compton College. I will turn it over to the presenters.
Good evening, all. Good evening. Thank you for allowing us to present this evening. So we're going to be talking about our STEM Center at Compton College. And I am going to turn it over to our program specialist, Lorena Fonseca, who works directly with our STEM students in regards to tutoring, outreach, and events. And she will direct you from here on out. Lorena?
Hello, good evening. Thank you for having me present an update on our STEM Center. Next slide. Sorry, next slide. Thank you. So we'll be going over the STEM Center services that we provide. How are we engaging with our students? Some of our off-campus activities, right? We're gonna talk a little bit about some of our STEM achievements and our future plans. Next slide. So the STEM Center was open summer 2019 when we separated from El Camino. Before we were on campus as the Compton Mesa Center, and we support STEM related majors. We support students who are in transition to transfer or students who are taking the proper courses, chemistry, math, biology, physics, computer science, and those are our student population. Next. So what are some of the services that we provide? Well, one of the biggest that our students really utilize is tutoring. So we are supporting calculus, physics, chemistry, computer science, like I said before. But we also promote internships, extracurricular activities, and we do work collaboratively with our STEM counselors to get our students through the transferring process. So we do a little bit of everything, trying to create a STEM community at Compton College. Right now, one of our new services is our in-person services. So we're back on campus. We opened last semester. This semester we're working on campus Monday to Thursday from 10 to 4. Students are able to use our study space, access books, printing computers, and we are getting thankfully some usage. Starting last week, we started getting a few new students, so I think we're excited about that. We're still hosting tutoring sections, so we are doing Zoom tutoring, which was very popular with our students, and we added some in-person hours, which, like I said, it's already being utilized starting last week. It was our first week, and we already got some students. Next. So, regarding our student engagement, so it has been a little rough to engage students through the pandemic, right? And we created the Make It Happen project in collaboration with our counselor and our physics instructor. This event has been funded by different areas. This is gonna be this Friday, we're starting our third Make It Happen. Last spring, we had 20 participants and it was very successful. This past fall, we had 25 participants. Students are they are signing up for 8 to 9 Zoom sessions every Friday. So they do about 16 plus hours where they learn a little bit about programming, Arduino, hardware, and they also get a little bit of access to college resources, right? So the counselor talks about time management, he talks about financial aid, they just get a little bit of everything. And today I was able to get one of our participants to join us and share her experience. If Victoria could unmute herself. Victoria, are you on the line?
Yeah, I'm here. One second.
Hi, Victoria. Can you share
Hi,
with us
everybody.
your experience with Make It Happen last semester?
Yes, hi everybody. My name is Victoria Torres, and I was able to participate last semester for it was fall 2021. I was actually also group leader, and our team actually won the Arduino robot maze, which was really exciting. Everyone did their part, and I definitely love to work together in this program, you know. I also was able to learn how to assemble an Arduino robot, which was wow. It only took me 3 days, but it was a lot of work and I really enjoyed it. What else? But yeah, it was definitely a great experience. I definitely am gonna sign up again. I did actually.
Thank you, Victoria. Yes, she already signed up, and I think I wanted her to share her experience because by the third section, she had told me she had changed her major to engineering. She was already a STEM major, but she hadn't figured out where in STEM she was going to be. And that's the goal of Make It Happen, to expose our students to different areas in STEM and, empower them so they know where they can lead in their careers, right? So we do a little bit of everything. And last semester, by the way, more than 50% of the students who participated were not STEM majors. So we're little by little, we're trying to get more students to be open about robotics and computer science, because that's something that, all students for future careers should know a little bit of. Thank you, Victoria, for sharing your experience. Next. Now, we're still doing our engagement through our STEM week. Last year, we had a very successful STEM week. We have about 240 participants throughout the week. This year is going to be May 3rd to the 6th. We're probably going to keep about the same, have a transfer panel, professional panel, have some type of virtual tour, still tentative, and of course have our Make It Happen presentations at the end. Last year, to share with you guys, our professional panel was composed of 5 participants, and 4 of them took classes at Compton College, and now they're professionals in engineering, in corporations doing labs. One of them was a coordinator for a lab that does COVID testing, right? So now they're moving on to that. But hopefully this year we can bring the same type of, so students can see themselves, right? So that's why we try to have a transfer panel, professional panel from our alumni, right? Next. So more hands-on activities. We have our STEM club. Our STEM club is still active. Right now, the most active project is our rocket. The picture you see in this slide is from the rocket that students are building in the Compton airport. We have some students from Compton College and some alumni who are working on this project. Additionally, we have students interested in greenhouse, the high altitude balloon. So hopefully this year we get to launch it again. And we still want to hold a start party and invite the community. And I'm one of the advisors with Professor Tricketts, who is our professor of physics. Next. Again, whenever we have an opportunity to be part of any off-campus activities for our students, we always share these activities, and we try to make it work for them. I would like to point out two opportunities in this slide. The first one is the Pathways for Computing for Women of Color through UCI. We have three students who are representing our campus in this program. It's a one-year program, and they are learning about computing. There's not a lot of women of color, and they get to meet with the group once a month, and they also get to be part of conferences. And again, everything is related to computing and trying to just expose those students to the area. And lastly, I will share Charles Drew Caltech Connection, which is a brand new opportunity that our students are starting this semester. This is in thanks to our chemistry professor, Dr. Lily, who has a connection with Charles Drew. Two of our students are gonna be representing our campus and participating in that program. They already started, they're excited, they get connected with a grad student and they get to work on their own project. So they're working with students from Charles Drew and Caltech. So they're very excited, the two students who are working on that. The projects that they're working on are biology, chemistry focus. Okay, next. So some of our achievements, we had this, despite the pandemic, we had 20 students who transferred this past year. Top schools that they transferred to was Costa Dominguez, LA, Costa Long Beach, Cal Poly Pomona, UC Riverside. A lot of our biology students went into UC Riverside this year. And then one student ended up at UCLA as a math major. But those are our students. Every time I present, I love to talk about our alumni. I like to talk to our alumni because I like to share with students that used to be in their shoes not long ago and how successful they have been. And I knew the students when they repeated classes and they had some challenges. So I'm not gonna go ahead and talk about all the students because we'll be here all night, but I will highlight at least two. I would like to highlight Oscar Espinosa, who transferred class of 2019. He just finished this December, aerospace engineering at Costa Long Beach. He's actually started working as a systems engineer at Raytheon this January. It was really excited because he got offered that job back in October, way before he had his degree. So super excited for him. He has worked really hard for that. And then I would like to share Trey Willingham, who came in last year and present with me. He transferred class of 2021. A physics major. He's at Cal Poly Pomona. He just finished his first year at Pomona, well, his first semester, and he's part of Callbridge. So Callbridge, if you guys remember, Trey wants to be get his PhD in physics. And Callbridge is gonna help him get there. It is a 2-year program that allows him to, they prepare him, they gave him mentorship, they gave him research opportunities, and they also, he won up to $10,000 of scholarship. So he could get up to $10,000 to be able to fund his studies while he's at Cal Poly Pomona. And for him, he's utilizing that as a for housing. That's why he's using that money. So he's doing well. He survived the first semester, keeping up that GPA, and he'll be, like I mentioned last year, he'll be a doctor anytime soon. Next. Future plans. Well, we are always planning something new. We want to bring more STEM and more opportunities to our students at Compton College. We used to be part of the MESA program. We want to apply to that. There's grants through the SSTEM grants, HSI. We want to keep expanding the things that work. So like I mentioned, this is our 3rd semester doing Make It Happen. It's becoming very successful. Today is the deadline. I already have 37 applications in, way more than what my budget allows. So super excited. Of course, keeping our STEM week, students really enjoy that. And we really want to work on those. And, something that the last thing we want to work on is establishing a STEM-centered advisory board. We had one previous COVID, and we want to continue that because we want to grow and, reach out to more organizations around our community so we can offer more STEM opportunities for our students. Any questions?
Board members, Dr. Little.
No questions. I just wanted to thank again everyone involved in a great presentation. I shared my thoughts. Congratulations to the team. I think 3 days to build a robot is a quick time. It's all perspective. But most importantly, again, I think I really appreciate Dr. Curry and the administrative staff for providing us, not only as board members, but the entire community, an opportunity to understand the specific impact and then outcomes of the educational experience here. I mean, to address the dearth of STEM students of color, but to provide students an experiential learning opportunity that will really show them their ability and then give them the opportunity to expand that is very important. And so I just, again, want to commend the administrative staff, the faculty, the students, and everyone involved. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Amen.
Trustee Doppelmore.
Yes, thank you, Lorena, for again a very amazing presentation. It sounds like the program is very robust. It's engaging, keeping the attention of our students. I see well represented for males as well as females, as well as some of the other programs that you offer with the concentration of women of color in STEM as well. So again, thank you very much for giving an overview of a very robust and a very engaging program. So keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Very in-depth report about STEM. I'm so glad that we have STEM and coding and the robot. Oh my goodness, that was fantastic. And the students and the alumni. And I'm glad you're going to apply for that MESA grant. I know I saw MESA grant there and something else, but I'm glad you're going to apply for that because that will also assist with our students. But once again, the questions that I was going to ask were all answered in your presentation when you elaborated more on it, on each PowerPoint that you did. So thank you very much and keep it the good word and kudos to our students that are in that class. Thank you so much. And I'm looking forward to bigger and greater and bigger projects and everything. I want to see a big robot moving and jumping and all like that, like the kind we see on TV.
Yes.
Yes, I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to when it's time, will you ever do like a presentation, not on the screen or on Zoom, but in person, where we could come to the college and look at each one of the robotics that they do and the awards that they receive so that we could give trophies and stuff like that? Will you ever be doing something like that?
Yeah, that'll be the goal, to do most of our stuff in person because, hands-on, although our students are doing pretty well online, you heard Victoria, having us being there and us presenting, I feel like it will be even better for them, and having, the whole, they can see how everything fits together, right?
Right.
But that is the goal, hopefully soon, maybe next year, if situation is different, we hope to be in person.
Right, because I know it's exciting, but it's even exciting when people are walking from table to table. Could it be done if the tables were 6 feet apart and you put little stuff down on the ground where people stand and, you just make it, the tables don't have to be close and you could still do that and people wear their mask and things like that. I mean, if it can be done this year or whatever in the summer, I don't know. I'm just saying.
No, you bring good things. Maybe that's how we will do our presentation for Make It Happen. What we had was a maze challenge this past fall, and students were allowed to come on campus, and we invited a couple people who were on campus to come and see the maze. And they really enjoyed it. They got to visually see what we're doing, because it's different when I say Arduino, but it doesn't click until you see it, right? So I'm gonna take your comments into consideration as we plan for that, presentations for this spring. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I mean, because you can use you can use a gym. You can use the outside of the administration building, that long walkway all around, even going toward the a little theater, all that walkway right there, and where the student lounge is at. All that can be used and stuff like that. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your presentation. Moving on to item number 13 for consent agenda. Board members, do you have a motion?
So moved.
Sorry.
Second.
Trustee Lopez, I have a correction to one item on the agenda. Sorry. It's in the consent agenda under personnel matters.
Board members, if you can retrieve your motions, please.
I take it back.
It was in the consent agenda.
Retrieve my second.
Thank you.
In item 13.10, human resources. Can you pull that open for me, please, Lauren? Go down to page 3 or 4. Right there. So there's a correction to Linda up the previous page. The correction is to Linda Wilkerson, where it says PD liaison BSI. It should say SLO facilitator BSI, 10% reassigned time. It should not be PD liaison, it should be SLO facilitator. And that's the only correction I have. Thank you.
Board members, we are on consent agenda item 13. There has been a correction to item 13.10 on page, let me make sure I open it back up again. On page 3, section 16, under Linda Wilkerson, and making a correction to SLO facilitator -BIS with 10% reassigned time. Do we have a motion to approve consent agenda with those corrections?
So moved with the corrections.
Second with corrections.
It has been moved by Trustee Calhoun and seconded by Dr. Little with corrections. Do we have any discussion? Dr. Little.
No questions, thank you.
Trustee Doppelmore.
No questions, no discussion.
Thank you. Trustee Calhoun? Just give me the numbers and then we can go, or do you want to do the regular announcement? Which one would you like?
Okay, so each of you should have the questions that I asked and the answers, right? So if Dr. Curry can put them in the chat like he did last time. Individuals that want to see it can see it, but it's really one that out of all of that under the consent agenda, the one that I really need more clarity on is 1310 1A 1A2. But do you need to know all the numbers that Dr. Curry answered for me or no?
I have them here.
Okay.
Yep. 13, 1, 5, 7, and 10.
Okay. No, the only one I need more clarity on is 1310 1A2. I think that's it.
Oh, yes. Michelle Garcia, I believe.
Right.
Dr. Curry?
What is your additional clarity on Trustee Calhoun? I want to make sure before, is it regards to the question that you provided, or is it you have
Yes,
a follow-up?
but I was looking at the range. They both had the same range, correct? If you pull it up,
Correct.
they both had the same range, but they didn't have the same step. Just because they have the same range, don't mean they're at the same page. If it's at step 3 and step 4 is higher than step 3. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. So now can you answer that question?
I will.
Because you told me it was the same, and I'm.
So they're on the same range. That's correct. However, when Dr. Garcia was placed in a position, she's at a higher step versus Andre Pacheco when he first started with us. And I can't get into details regards to placement, but her current placement is at range 3, step 4. So it's still taking on this assignment. She will still remain in step 4.
Okay. But you know where I'm going to, right, about this? So I still say it. I understand what you're saying. He was there longer. She came in, looked like she was the same range, but she went a higher step than he did.
But that's her current step. So Dr. Garcia was in the position as a director on our campus already at step 4. So I can't go to her original placement. I don't know that right now, but she's currently at step 4 on that range number 3.
Oh, on her other job.
Correct.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, that's better, because I'm thinking that's why I kept asking you the question.
Yeah. So it's her current so she can't take, from my perspective, and I don't. So she was already on that range for director. So she will remain on the same range and at the same step, because that's the step that she's on from her current position. So she can't take a pay cut because she's already at step 4.
No, I understand now. That's the answer I was looking for, but it wasn't put in there and how you gave me the answer. That's why I
got it. So that's what happened.
Okay, from a previous one.
Yeah, and
okay.
I'm putting in the chat right now, Trustee Calhoun, is I'm putting in your questions. I saved them in a different place, so it's taking me a little bit longer than usual to find it, but I will have it in a couple seconds.
Okay, so I don't have anything else. Now I better understand that one right there. So thank you for answering that question. Thank you, Madam Chair.
No problem. Ms. Paula, can you do a roll call?
Trustee Ramos. Trustee Dopplemore.
Aye.
Trustee Calhoun.
Aye.
Dr. Little.
Aye.
Trustee Ramos. Board President Lopez.
Aye.
Thank you.
Moving on to item number 14, for action items. Before I move forward, Dr. Curry, do you want to tell me which ones can be grouped to share with the board members?
I think, can we start with the first one, and then we could probably group item 14.01 and 14.02 have to be separate. Also 14.03 and 4, but 14.05 through 14.08 could be grouped.
1, 2, 3, and 4 individual, and then the remainder have the opportunity to be grouped, correct?
Correct.
Board members, do we have a motion on the floor?
So moved to group the designated numbers that can be grouped.
And just for the record, it's 14.05 through 14.08.
14.05 through 14.08.
Okay. Second, but I had a question about one.
Yes, we could. We'll still have discussion.
Okay. All right.
All right. We will start with discussion from Dr. Little.
No question.
Trustee Dopplemore,
No questions.
Trustee Calhoun.
Just on 1406. Do we still have teleq?
Yes, we do.
So why did Atlas have to correct what they did?
I would turn it over to Linda Owens.
Good evening.
You know what? Sorry. I'm sorry. Excuse me. You know what? I see where it's being charged to tell the truth. It's not being charged us, right?
Correct. But Linda could provide the details of that for you if you want.
No. That's okay. I didn't fit it. Sorry, Miss Owens, sorry.
No problem. Thank you.
I got it. We're not paying for it. They are. Okay.
Got it. Ms. Paula, can you do the roll call for items 14.05 through 14.08?
Trustee Ramos, Trustee Dopplemore,
Aye.
Hold on.
Trustee Calhoun,
Aye.
Dr. Little,
Aye.
Board President Lopez.
Aye.
Thank you.
All right, moving on to item 14.01. Board members, do I have a motion?
Hold on for a second. Trustee Lopez, can I talk about this item? Because it's a little bit more complicated than just a vote.
Dr. Curry, you have the floor.
Thank you. So as you know, the board, we've been going through the redistricting process. We recognize redistricting committee members for their work. So there's three options that the board has today in front of you. We have three resolutions. The first resolution, number A, is retain the current lines for the Board of Trustees. Resolution B talks about adopting Plan A that was provided by our redistricting consultants. And Plan C, Resolution C, is Plan B. The committee, the Redistricting Committee recommended, and it's included in the document, that they recommended that we keep the same lines. And so the board would have to adopt either one of the three resolutions. And we have our redistricting consultants who are here, and the maps are there. If you have questions, they can ask those questions. But the committee recommended that we keep the current lines, which is resolution number A, 0228, 2022 A.
So we need to make a motion?
Correct, if that's what the board wants to do. Or if you have questions before you do that with the consultants, we can do that as well. But the committee has went through this, and their recommendation was to keep the current lines, and that will be approving the first resolution, or the board could go with Plan A or Plan B.
If nobody has any questions, I'd like to make a motion, but that's, see if anybody have questions. I don't.
It's Trustee Dopplemore. I'm gonna look at the, if we could just take a moment and look at the, I know we have the current maps up, but if we could just have the renderings of the maps for A and B.
Okay, so I would like to,
in the documents.
okay, so I would like to turn it over to our partners from Redistricting Partners, who Kay is online, who can go over the maps, and we'll hand over her screen so she can talk about the current lines, Plan A, and also Plan B. Okay.
Yes, absolutely. Hi, it's great to see you all again. So let's actually just get started with the current lines here. So I'm just going to go back a couple. So we have our current lines here. Our percent of change is pretty low with 1.1% from 2010 to 2020. And so here we can see our current lines. We have a total deviation of 9.4%. So we can keep our current lines, which is what the committee recommends we do tonight. And then we also have our draft plan A, which has a slight adjustment in the split in Compton between districts 2 and 5. And this change was just to balance population. So as you can see here, the proposed draft map A is the black outline, and the different colors are the current districts. And then our total plan deviation here is a bit lower than the current lines with 6.7%. And we have draft plan B with a little bit more changes here. That same change between districts 2 and 5 as we had in plan A. And then there's also a change that moves the dividing street for 2 and 5 and 1 as well. It moves it to North Long Beach Boulevard. And then there's also a change to adjust populations between 3 and 4 on that eastern part. And then we can see here the total plan deviation is even lower than draft plan A and the current lines with 3.4%. And I also have up, I could go through the committee's recommendations if you need, or I could slow down on the maps as well, whatever you guys would like, whatever you would all like.
Can you put a proposed map, draft map A?
Absolutely.
With the change in the, with the population, there's a slide with the population change.
So I have the data here for draft plan A. I do not currently have the population changes. I have the population change for the whole district. Is that what you mean?
No, I see it now. What you have with the other maps where you have it in the slide, that is the current. That's the current population. I see. So what I'm looking for, I believe it would be on slide 13 for proposed draft map. Draft plan A is slide 13.
And we also have plan B.
Mm-hmm. Correct. Thank you.
Absolutely.
That's all I have.
And did we have any more questions?
Board members, if there's no other questions, is there a motion being presented?
I'd like to, I looked at all the maps and the redistricting committee did an excellent job. They went back and forth through all the maps. They asked a lot of questions. They looked at the percentage, and I'm going to go on the recommendation of the redistricting committee, and I think that was map A. Is that correct?
No, it is resolution A.
I'm sorry, resolution A. I'd like to make a motion for resolution A.
Board members, is there a second?
I'll make a second to go with the recommendation of the redistricting commission. And that recommendation is to keep the current lines.
Correct.
Great. Seeing a first and a second, Ms. Paula, if you could do the roll call, please.
Trustee Ramos. Trustee Dopplemore.
Aye.
Trustee Calhoun.
Aye.
Dr. Little.
Aye.
Board President Lopez.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to item 14 point, go back, 2020, Measure CC and Measure C, General Obligation Bond Audit and Performance Audit Reports. Dr. Curry?
Thank you very much. So we do have our audit that was completed for the bond, and we have our auditor, Heather McGee with CLA, who's here, who has a presentation before the board votes on this. And I'd like to hand it over to Heather McGee, and you can share your screen. Lauren, if you can stop sharing your screen so we can have Heather share her screen.
It looks like her computer's frozen.
I will share my screen. Give me 1 second. Got it. And Heather, just let me know when you have next slide. Heather, your presentation is there.
You muted.
We can't hear you.
Trying to use my earpiece. Can you hear me now?
Yep, we're good.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much for having me out here tonight to present your bond Proposition 39 report to you. Not only is it your proposition report, but it's actually two reports in one. So we'll go through each section of the report. Next slide, please. So the first component of the Proposition 39 report is your financial statements. So this is just the financial statements only for the bond construction funds. The opinion that the district has received on their bond audit is an unmodified opinion, which is considered a clean opinion. So the language that you'd be looking for is presented fairly in material respects. Next slide, please. The financial piece of the report includes a balance sheet, a statement of revenue and expenses, as well as some footnote disclosures. The footnote disclosures gives a little bit more insight about the bond construction fund, as well as the long-term debts that are associated with the bond program. That debt is not recorded on the bond construction funds as a part of the district's audit report, and it will refer to that. Next slide, please. Also included in your financial piece is a report on internal controls. So I'm happy to report that there were no material weaknesses identified throughout our audit, as well as no compliance issues. Also important is there are no findings associated with the financial statements. Next slide, please. So moving on into the performance piece. So the performance piece is different from the financial piece because we're looking at specific compliance steps. When the voters approved for Proposition 39 back in 2000, it required that a separate audit be done of these funds. So the language is not presented fairly in material respects because that's associated with the financial audit. The language that you're looking for is in significant respects, and that's referring to being in compliance with the requirements of that bond program. Next slide, please. The performance portion of the audit report will also give more background. It gives some background about the bond program, and then mainly what is the objective of doing this audit report. So both of our objectives are to determine what was charged to the bond funds, and then take those expenditures and make sure that they are appropriately charged to the bond funds. When the district went to the voters back in 2002 and 2014, they had very specific projects that they advertised that they would be using the bond proceeds for. So that's a part of our job, is to make sure that those funds are spent accordingly. Next slide, please. Also, another important piece in the performance is to see how much was tested. So a performance audit, compared to your district audit report, there's going to be more sampling that's performed. So we did test 5 non-salary transactions for Measure CC, which equated to 54.8% of the total expenditures. And then for Measure C, we tested 19 expenditures, which accounted for 58.6%. So we looked at the invoices, supporting documentation, and traced them to the projects they were charged to, and verified that they were charged accordingly. Next slide, please. Now, another step that we perform if there were salaries and benefits is that we would make sure that any salaries and benefits charged to the bond program were specific to the bond program. There are no salaries and benefits, and that's consistent with the decision made by management not to charge those salaries and benefits there. Next slide, please. And that will conclude my presentation. So both reports, no observation and a clean opinion. Any questions?
Dr. Little? Trustee Dopplemore?
Sorry, no questions. It's a delay. I apologize.
I have no questions, Chair.
Trustee Calhoun?
Thank you for the report. Very, very knowledgeable. I have no questions. Questions that I would have asked, once again, was in your presentation and what you were saying. So thank you for that.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you very much. If I'm not mistaken, we do have to vote on adopting.
To accept.
Correct.
But can I make one comment before you do that? I do want to say thank you to Dr. Nasser and his team for working on the audit. I think this is like the 4th or 5th year we have had a clean audit for our bond. And this is important for our residents to know that we're monitoring the bond funds and everything's come back clean. And so I think that's important. And I do want to say thank you publicly to Dr. Nasser for his leadership to make sure it got done and it was done in a timely manner. So thank you, Dr. Nasser.
Board members, I need a motion to adopt the audit report.
So moved. Second.
It's been moved by Dr. Little and seconded by Trustee Dopplemore. Do we have any questions? Dr. Little?
No questions. Thank you again for the report.
Trustee Dopplemore?
No questions.
Trustee Calhoun?
No questions.
All right, see no question. Ms. Paula, can you do the roll call?
Trustee Ramos? Trustee Dopplemore?
Aye.
Trustee Calhoun?
Aye.
Dr. Little?
Aye.
Board President Lopez?
Aye.
Thank you.
Moving on to 14.03, Administrative Services, Compton Community College District Resolution Number 228, 2022D, Budget Augmentations for the fiscal years 2021 and 2022. Dr. Curry?
Yeah, I just recommend approval of the resolution.
Is there a motion on the floor?
So moved. Second.
Hold on.
It's been moved by Dr. Little
I
and
said,
seconded
what
by
are you up to?
Yes.
Trustee Dopplemore.
Yes.
Is there any comments or question, board members, starting with Dr. Little?
No questions, thank you.
Trustee Dopplemore,
No questions.
trustee Calhoun.
No.
Ms. Paula, if you could do the roll call.
Trustee Ramos. Trustee Dopplemore.
Aye.
Trustee Calhoun.
Aye.
Dr. Little.
Aye.
Board President Lopez.
Aye.
Is trustee Ramos okay?
He had to leave the meeting.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Technical difficulties. Moving on to item 14.04, Administrative Services, Compton Community College District Resolution number 0228, 2022E, budget transfers for the fiscal year 2021-2022. Board members, do we have a motion?
What were the ones that Dr. Curry said we can put together? That's not one of them?
We already voted on those. It was 14.5 through 14.8, 1 through 4 individual.
Okay, so moved.
Second.
It's been moved by trustee Calhoun and seconded by Dr. Little. Do we have any discussion? Board members, Dr. Little.
No questions, thank you.
Trustee Dopplemore.
No questions.
Trustee Calhoun.
No questions.
Seeing no questions, Ms. Paula, if you could do the roll call.
Trustee Ramos. Trustee Dopplemore.
Aye.
Trustee Calhoun.
Aye.
Dr. Little.
Aye.
Board President Lopez.
Aye.
Thank you.
Moving on to item number 15 for discussion slash action. 15.01, Compton College full-time equivalent students, FTES. Dr. Curry.
Yeah, so we just provide you with an update of our FTS for Compton College. As you can see, we have a decline for the spring term. The goal for us is we're focused now on the fall semester, and I allocated in the tentative budget that will be coming to the board is $500,000 for marketing for this year's budget to work on marketing. So we're implementing some of the recommendations with regards to banners and signage. But next month we were bringing you an outreach and recruitment calendar of things that we want to do for the next year to increase enrollment. And so today's just an update, but next month we want to spend more time. We talk about outreach and recruitment, and so the board can react and provide feedback to the actual plan and the activities for next year. The key to us, for us, regards to enrollment, is we have to open up our campus. And so we'll be talking about that more over the next couple of weeks, of open up the campus fully in compliance with LA County guidelines. And that concludes the update. And Trustee Dopplemore has a question or hand raised.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Curry. Chair, my Dr. Curry, in the update that we'll receive next month, will that include, I know you said some of the banners and some of the other recruitment and outreach. Do you have an update, or will I know it said with the signage, we talked about, like last time there was a suggestion for utilizing the digital billboards along the for example, like the 91 and the other maybe like the 105 freeway up north.
We actually did that this past for spring. So we will also do it for fall and also for spring of next year, but we have done that. We had it on the 105 and also the 91. But I would go back to recruitment activities. From my perspective, it's not just about having signage, it's about having the targeted groups. And so last week in our target talks, we talked about the target groups we want to work with. And then they provided some other feedback of some other targeted groups of how we're going to target specific groups of individuals. And so we want to share that with the board at the next meeting. But it's about targeted outreach, but at the same time doing a radio, at the same time doing a bus signage, at the same time doing a 91 freeway, and this, that, and the other. But also one thing that I got as a feedback from a community meeting, we will put together a community task force of people who are interested in helping us with enrollment, so they can be a participate and be involved in that. And that's going to be included in the plan as well. And that came to me from the concerned citizens.
Thank you.
Dr. Curry, is there any action that you're asking of us?
No.
Thank you. Moving on to item 15.02, future in-person Board of Trustees meeting Dr. Curry.
So one of the things that we have talked about for the last couple months of the board meetings returning in person, and I would like to make the recommendation to the board is that as we plan to move the return and the numbers has declined in regards to COVID cases, is that for the April board meeting should be in person as we move forward. And that is my recommendation to the board. If the board's okay with that recommendation, we can begin planning for that.
Wow, okay. Board members, do we have any comments, questions, or feedback? I will start with Dr. Little.
No, I do not have any questions or feedback. I just want to make sure that we do have capabilities for our community members who still want to participate virtually.
Yes, we will have the virtual option. And there's one issue that I have to ask our attorney about with AB 361 regards to board members. And can you do AB 361 at the same time? So for example, if there's a board member who can't make it, how will they be able to participate with regards to AB 361? And so that's the only thing I'm trying to figure. That's the last piece of it. But I think as we move forward and open up the campus, I think at the same time, we have to have the board meetings in person.
Yeah, but I do think that it is important to get that clear legally, no matter what the outcome is, because I think moving forward on some other boards that I serve on as well, is that there is that designation, not for necessarily the circumstances now, but just moving forward because a new precedent has been set, how boards can make decisions around either hybrid for particular reasons or because of illness, whatever. So I would like to just get it clear and put on the record.
Got it. And I can bring this back in March, so I can be able to talk to you about how this is going to work. But I wanted to try to put it out there so that we can start planning for the April board meeting.
Trustee Dopplemore.
Could we make it could we vote on it next month? Do you think you'll have the final piece squared away by then, Dr. Curry?
It won't be, we don't need to have a vote. Technically, you don't need a vote. The question will be in March, if we bring back the resolution for 361, what does that look like for the college as it relates to if some members of the board are not able to attend in person, what does that look like and what type of, how do we do it as relates to the Brown Act? So the only vote that needs to take place is in March. If the board decides not to do April, then you would have to approve at the April board meeting or at the March board meeting to do the meeting remotely. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. So March, we'll have to decide if we want to do, we have to decide now if we want to do March remotely. And so then
March is already remote, basically, because at the last retreat on Saturday, the board approved the resolution for the 30 days. And so the 30 days will include the March 21st date. So the March meeting will be online. The question will be for the board for April. And that's why I brought up the recommendation as we open the campus up. And the goal for me is to open the campus up in April. By doing that, that means we need my recommendations for the board meeting to be in person. So the only vote the board would take is if the board would like to have on the agenda 361 to talk about again in April or March. However, we have to start planning.
I think you should keep it on the agenda until we get the final thing, but we already have the March and April meeting set, correct?
The March meeting is set. April is the one which I'm recommending that we go back to in person.
Okay.
And the only question will be the option regards to individuals who cannot be here in person. How do we Brown Act it? Do we need to do AB 361 for that? Or do they need to basically post where they're going to be at and allow the public to participate from wherever their board members located? That's the one question I've not got answered yet. And I'll bring that at the March board meeting in regards to that question.
Got it. Moving on to Trustee Calhoun, you're next.
Okay, so hopefully it will be in a little theater, larger room. And also, I think you just touched on it a little bit. I guess you have to talk to the attorney about whichever board members are unable to attend. Does it have to be posted? Does it have to be posted outside their house or their door? And if they, wherever they are, somebody else can come in and be there with them? I don't know, but I know a lot of times, I know that the rules have changed, but sometimes prior to COVID and closing down everything, there was something going on, whether they were on vacation or not, or depending on where they were at or what they're home, they would have to post it. And the public would know where that person lived at, and that person would be able to attend the meeting with that person at their place.
Correct. I don't know the answer to that question.
I know, I'm just saying it so that you can get some answers to those type of questions.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so we'll be come back in March for this, but I just want to put it out there that for April, the recommendations to move forward, and the only vote will be based off of 361, regards to continuing meetings online. But as we open up the campus, I think it's important that we also understand that we need to be able to provide the board meetings in person. And but I also think we need to have that option for some board members regards to remote. And that's the question I don't know regards to 361. But I think this is going to be a part of the new normal. I think in organizations regards to you're going to have some people might be in person, you might have some people who be online. I don't know, but we need to have that flexibility. And
I know that at the Compton City Council, they have everybody can't sit close together, I guess, unless they're husband or wife, boyfriend, girlfriend. But they, on the chairs, they have paper where people cannot sit at on the chair, and it's taped to the chairs. That's the same thing you could do in the little theater, if that comes. And then we have a very big, long table that we had before that we used when we did the little theater once before. And we weren't that close to each other either. But I understand where you're coming from. Those are things that you have to check out, look up and stuff like that. So yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Board members and Dr. Curry, just to confirm, this is just going to be an standing item until we have to vote on it, correct?
The vote would be 361. So
got it.
At the next board meeting, it'll be 361. But I need to ask the question about 361 in the April board meeting.
Dr. Curry, can you also check with El Camino, because I know they're back in full, to see, I mean, just information wise, I know that El Camino is holding their board meetings back in their location where they were doing it, and it's open now. They don't do Zoom anymore. I'm not saying we can't do both at the same time. I'm just saying.
What I would do, Trustee Calhoun, is I don't want to ask just El Camino. I just do a statewide survey to all colleges, the 73 districts, and ask them how they're doing it. And I think that'd be that's better information for the board.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine.
That concludes that item.
All right, moving on to item number 16, grant items. Board members, do I have a motion for 16.01, Administrative Services Grant, Song Brown Registered Nursing Healthcare Workforce Training Act Grant?
Moved.
I heard Trustee Calhoun move it.
No, somebody else moved it before me at the same time, so I second it.
Okay, I can't. Then who was the first one? I didn't recognize.
Karate Little.
Dr. Little has moved and Trustee Calhoun has second. Do we have any questions, board members? Dr. Little.
No questions.
Trustee Dopplemore.
No questions.
Trustee Calhoun.
No question.
All right, no question. Ms. Paula, can you do the roll call?
Trustee Ramos. Trustee Dopplemore.
Aye.
Trustee Calhoun.
Aye.
Dr. Little. Dr. Little.
Remember, she has a delay.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Sorry about that.
Board President Lopez.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to item number 17, Board of Policies and Administrative Regulations, 17.01 and 17.02, Dr. Curry.
Yeah, I just want to provide an update. We're working on the board policies for this year that'll be reviewed. We're going to meet with the Academic Senate about some policies from them, but we're just pushing through. If you have your binder needs to be updated, please let me know so we can get that updated from you for staff. And that includes this section. Unless you have any questions.
I turned in my binder. Is it finished?
No, it'll be done. It's going to give me a week. So I bet.
Oh, okay, that's fine. That's fine.
So can I go through the information items, Trustee Lopez?
Yes.
Okay, I just want to bring a couple things to highlight for you that's in the information section. The first one is the nursing program. And I sent an email to the Board of Trustees regards to we no longer have to do a report to the BRN about nursing, which is a big deal for us regards to our compliance. So I want to say congratulations to that. I know Dr. DeLilly's on a call, and I know Dr. Paju and also Sherry Berger. Say thank you to everyone that was involved in that. This is a big deal because we were under review by the BRN, and I want to make sure the board knows as part of your goals as well. So this is a big deal, and I want to say congratulations to that. Also, too, I just want to highlight for the board in this section as well. If you look at the President CEO task force, I just want to highlight some of the work that's being done on some of these task force. We have several task force and committees, but we have the Tartar mascot, and they're doing a lot of work right now in regards to the mascot review. And we're going to be bringing forth a recommendation on that sometime in June in regards to the mascot review. But I do want to say thank you to everyone that's been involved in that, and they're meeting on a regular basis. So if you get a chance to look at that report and update, you'll know more about what's happening. And they're about to do another survey regards to that as well. But I just want to share that with you as we move forward. Regards to item 18.28, just to let you know, regards to next month, we have several presentations as well. So I'm gonna make sure there's a highlight for you. And then also 18.30 is a letter our signed side letter with the classified union in regards to look at the salary schedule. And that was a part of our negotiations. So that concludes my updates regards to information section. And if I can take any questions you might have on that.
Board members, Dr. Little?
No questions. Just want to commend the college again for all of the hard work to be independent. As I shared at our recent retreat, Compton College has a long history of excellence in the nursing program. As a high school student myself many years ago, as part of the MedCorps program, was the beneficiary of the great training, which allowed me to eventually become a CNA for many years while in college and working at many facilities. And so very happy to see the legacy continuing, and thank you to the faculty and staff and administrators who continue to work on behalf of our students, especially in a medical field that is just going to continue to evolve.
See Doppelmore?
About any item within, any information item, right, within 18?
Correct.
Okay. Dr. Curry, this is related to some of the housing initiatives. If you are we receiving progress or moving forward? This is really on 18.07 in terms of the housing, expanding the housing for Compton College.
Yeah, regards to 18.07 and moving forward regards to housing, we're waiting on the Department of Finance and the state legislators to let us know who's on the list. We should know more this month. They're supposed to release it sometime in March.
Thank you.
And as we find out, the board will be the first one that we notify.
Thank you. That's all I have, Chair.
Take Calhoun.
No.
Moving on to item number 19, future agenda items, Dr. Curry.
So we have, for the future agenda items next month, we have our financial audit that will be done. we're trying something new. Dr. Menadora asked me about the Academic Senate providing a presentation to you, more so about what the roles and responsibilities of Academic Senate and also what they're working on. And so we added that to our schedule, to their schedule for next month. We also have a financial aid presentation. We also have a presentation on our transfer center. And then we have a report on our 5-year fiscal management plan and the dual enrollment report. And also the naming of library/student success center is there as a future agenda item. And I might put the 5-year fiscal management plan as a discussion action item and not as a report, so the board can be able to know our fiscal picture as we move forward.
All right, moving on to oral reports, Dr. Curry.
So I just have a couple items I want to say. First of all, thank you to the Board of Trustees for your support of the work that I've been doing at Compton College and the renewal of my contract. I look forward to continuing the work that we have been doing over the years to support student success. The second thing I want to talk about is today we received notification from the United States Department of Education in regards to our Hispanic Serving Institution designation. It was renewed for the 2022-2023 year. I want to say thank you to Lauren Sasenko for her work as it relates to that. The next thing I want to talk about just a little bit as we move forward is graduation. We have graduation scheduled for later in June. We're trying to secure the keynote speaker for graduation, but it will be held at Cal State University, Dominguez Hills, and it will start at 5:30 p.m. So please mark your calendar that we will have an in-person graduation ceremony, and it will be safe for our students, and we will recognize the graduating class of 2020, 2021, and also 2022. I have also invited the speakers from our previous graduations to be able to attend and be a part of the platform party. And so we have already got one confirmation that person will be able to attend. I'm just waiting for the second person in regards to that as well. But we want to really try to recognize them for being speakers virtually, but also be at the ceremony. And so we're excited about the ceremony being at Dominguez Hills. And I just want to make sure everyone marks that day on their calendar. And that concludes my report.
Dr. Little?
Yes, again, I just want to thank everyone for all of their hard work and for all of the continued support on behalf of our students. I want to formally and publicly thank Dr. Curry for his continued leadership. I think that despite all the myriad challenges and things that all institutions are continuing to face, whether it be challenges around enrollment, continuing to make a compelling case for the benefit of higher education and really serving a community and thinking about all the different ways in which there can be barriers to access, that I'm very proud that Compton College, as a result of its leadership, is continuing to center our students and our community as our primary focus and purpose. I think that is not accidental, that all of the great strides that we continue to move towards, whether it be new buildings, whether it be moving out of conservatorship, as was noted tonight with the nursing program and the service grants that our institution is the recipient of, all our rigorous evaluative processes, and people are continuing to view Compton College at the highest levels. And again, I want to publicly thank Dr. Curry, and I know that the board collectively also appreciates his service. I want to thank the faculty. And I know, again, how difficult it has been throughout COVID, and as we transition to a new state of being, just thank them for their continued commitment to our students as well as our staff. And again, our broader community, thanks again to the committee, Redistricting Committee, who volunteered their time. Thank you for all of the public comments that continue to focus on the best ways we can not only honor our college, but honor those who have established a long legacy of service to the college. And again, just thank you for the opportunity to serve.
Trustee Doppelmayr?
Yes, I would just like to thank you to the presenters that have presented here tonight. Amazing work that's being done by our faculty and staff and ensuring the success of all of our students. And I would just like to say to the students, we wish you all the best and much success as you prepare to return to campus. And thank you for patience for all of my fellow trustees. And also thank you, Dr. Curry, for your leadership and your guidance and help and assisting me during this onboarding process. Thank you. Oh, and one other thing, tomorrow, please, if you would, join me with my first town hall, which is March 1st at 6 p.m. Thank you.
Trustee Calhoun.
Thank you for all the hard work that everybody's doing during these difficult times, faculty, staff, classified, police officers, Dr. Curry and his staff, people that work in his office. Everybody has stepped up and did the best job that they could do during all these trying times. And I just want to say kudos to each and every one of you. I look forward to the, did you say Academic Senate wanted to give a report, Dr. Curry?
Yeah, we added it to their presentation schedule to talk about what they're working on, their goals. And so I think it's a good idea to do that every year.
Yeah.
And so when Dr. Minador and I talked about this a couple weeks ago, or a couple months ago. And so I added them to the agenda for presentations for a presentation in March.
That would be very good. I'm glad that she brought that up, and we're going to have it on the agenda because I'm always interested in the Academic Senate and the things that they do, like the interviews they do and things like that. I really appreciate that. I just want to give kudos to everybody that works at Compton College, whether they have been remote or in person, and St. John's, all of them, for everything that we have been going through, giving us the shots and the vaccination, Dr. Curry, and your work, and striving to make Compton College to succeed. We still have our struggles, but we're going to get through this. We're all going to come through this standing tall and looking back and say, wow, we made it. I figure we made it, but you know, it takes a whole lot of all of us to come together for it to be real good. And I'm so glad that Miss Stephanie Lenore talked about the student trustee, because I was that was one of my questions about when we have a student trustee, because it's very important that we do have a student trustee at these board meetings so they can, let us know about what the students are going through, what's happening with the students, what the students need, and how much more that we can assist with the students and their needs and what they need. So thank everybody so much. If I forgot anything, charge it to my head and not my heart. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Jean, do you have anything to share? All right. Seeing nothing, our next regularly scheduled board meeting is March 21st, 2022. Closed session will begin at 5 and open session will begin at 6. It is 8:21 and this meeting is concluded. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us.
Thank you, President.